Thank you very much. Two F-35s touched down at Austin Straubel Airport tonight, utilizing the space for a training exercise while also offering a taste for what's to come ahead of the season's first Lambeau flyover. Today's training exercise will help the airmen practice agile combat employment, which is a concept used to increase the survivability of an aircraft in a situation where they're faced with little support. After this afternoon's training, the pilots prepared for the flyover at Lambeau Field, something that's become a sacred part of the start of the season for veterans and fans alike.
Getting able to come home to Wisconsin was really important to me. I've never got to fly over Lambeau before. That was really fun, a cool opportunity to look down at the stadium, and hopefully there are a bunch of people up there looking up at us too. I feel like that's a Wisconsin bucket list item for sure.
Stadium flyovers are typically seen at major events like first home openers and championships. The tradition acts as a public display of respect for active service members, veterans, and the military as a whole.